Right, okay, so I want to show you what is a checked exception. Okay, so in Java we get checked exceptions and we get unchecked exceptions. So I'm going to just do what we've done before. So I'm going to say result equals, let's just make it 10 divided by 0. So we know that divide by 0 is not allowed. So when I run this, okay, my computer actually gives me the error. Okay, so I didn't put this in a try catch. So you see, the thing is, my computer quite merrily lets me divide by 0. Okay, he doesn't actually care about that. But when he actually has to calculate it, he can't calculate it. So then he gets this error. So I get the error only at runtime. Okay, so you see, this is important because what if I had a variable and that variable I might not straight away see that it's 0. It might be a 0 depending on the flow of the program. So, but at the moment I'm putting a 0 in, I hard code my 0 in, so now I should be getting an error. So if I put this into a try catch, and I catch it out, I say catch, and I'm going to put there exception E, just like that, okay. And I'm going to say here sys out okay, so I put my division into a try catch. Now let's see what happens when I run this. Okay, now it gives me the error. Okay, the thing is that when I didn't have the try catch, my computer allowed a clean compile, and it allowed me to run and encounter the error by surprise. Okay, now when I work with a checked exception, my computer won't surprise me and allow me to code errors. So I'm going to show you how it works. Here I've got a string, which is the file name. So I've got on my folder structure, you'll see here in my project folder, I've got a variable called a file called cats.csv. Can you see? It's in my program folder, in my project folder, Because it's in my project folder, the computer doesn't need me to specify the file location with a full path. Okay, so I don't have to give a path. The computer will automatically look in the project folder for that file. Otherwise, I need to put the file path and together with the name of the file. Okay, so here I'm saying file name is that, it's a string variable. I make a file object and I refer to my string. And now what I want to do is I want to go and create a scanner object. Now you know that when I do a scanner, I go new, and then I put there system.in, and that will allow me to read information from my end user, from the console. So the scanner, this system in tells the scanner to go to the console and read from my console. Okay, but now I don't want it to read from the console. I want to read from that file cats. Okay, and I've created an object with an F there. So I said the file object refers to my string, and this file object is actually that file, and my scanner needs a file object it can't read with a string object. Okay, now can you see the minute I put that F in the scanner, okay, so the scanner is going to read the file that is associated with my file name, but now it doesn't allow me a clean compile. And when I hover on that error, the computer says add a throw catch, or it says surround with a try catch. Now when I click surround with try catch, look what it does, it puts a try catch in. So I'm going to say file not found exception. I'm going to say sys out and print E for me. Okay, so I'm just going to put there E. So my scanner, if, can you see now I've got a clean compile. Okay, now it will compile for me. Okay, but that is what I call a checked exception. Okay, so if I don't use my try catch, then my computer gives me an error, and it won't allow me to go any further until I've put the try catch in. And it didn't give it to me when I was using this divide by zero. You see, my divide by zero is quite happy to be compiled, but not the scanner F. And that is the difference between a checked exception and an unchecked exception. The unchecked exception, the computer allows, and I only could discover at runtime that there was an error, okay, or an exception. But with a checked exception, the computer won't let me compile. I can't run until I've put the try catch in. And I can just go around with the try catch, and the computer puts it in for me. I don't like the standard. I don't like that standard catch code. So I'm going to just put here error. Okay. And that is how you have to do it. So I'm going to do one more example because there's another way of dealing with it. Okay. So if I go to that error, can you see there are two options? Okay. And now I can choose the top one, which says add throws declaration. Now when I click on that one, the computer goes here to my public static void main. So if I was in a different method, on the method signature, the computer will include throws file not found exception. So this is a cheat and a shortcut, because now if I put that there, the computer will say, okay, when during this code it encounters a file not found exception, then it will deal with that file not found exception in the Java's standard way of how will he deal with that error. And it will let me code and continue with my program and not force try catches in lots of different areas of my code. But I don't have the luxury to tell the computer what it should do should it encounter a file not found exception. So it's like a sort of a default dealing with the error instead of a specific code that I want to put in if I want to deal with that error. So try catch is normally better, but you can also put a throws in. So if I hover on that error, then I can choose either the throws or the surround with try catch, and that is compulsory to use either one of the two when I've got a checked exception. When I've got an unchecked exception, I can merely go about and make the error, and the computer will tell me about it at runtime. So that is the difference between a checked and an unchecked exception.